tutto il
let him
mondo,
answer. Let
vi
him
prego.
answer.
It's kind of a combat
'Cause that
sport.
was-
Boxing is kind of a combat sport.
Yeah.
So
It is a combat sport. That's what I'm saying. Like,
it
would you
is a
want trans
combat
women
sport.
in combat sports?
Can Furby answer the question, please?
I don't know
Go,
what your question
Furby.
was, Damon. What was your question?
Like,
Sorry.
do you think it's okay to have trans women in women's sports? Now, you're saying depending on the sport. I'm asking, for example, let's say boxing. Is it okay? Because the people earlier on were like, yeah, it's totally fine. They should have the freedom to do that. It's a freedom issue. It's them living their life. So you should let a trans woman compete in boxing. Do you agree with
If
that?
he wants to cut his dick off, let him cut his
Dude,
dick off.
you
But
ain't
if
even
Hold on,
I'm
hold
not
on,
letting
hold
him
on.
do
So
beat
that,
shit
so,
about it.
hold on, Terry.
You ain't
So that's a
even
good
gotta go
question.
boxing.
So that's a good.
You ain't even got to go boxing. You can just go with basketball.
Sure.
You want trans women
I
out
just
there?
Yeah,
want to hear,
but
I want to
hold
hear
on,
what Furby
gentlemen,
says.
gentlemen.
Sorry, Dan.
We're distinguishing the difference.
Ridiculous.
Damon is specifically just he gave the example about boxing. Now,
This
boxing.
is part one of two because
yes,
it
combat
leads into the
sports.
second question.
We're talking about combat sports here when he's bringing up boxing.
It's
Can you answer
no
his question on
different.
that?
It's no different. You can do the chess.
Imperious, shut the fuck up, bro.
Shut the fuck
Look,
up.
I'm just writing
there's are
this
two
out.
different things: combat sports and team sports, or individual like chess. Those are three different categories here.
Yeah, no, okay.
He's
Jake as
asking
well,
combat
please,
sports here.
let him answer it. Let Furby answer it.
I kind of want to be difficult and just say yes, women should be able to compete against men in chess. But no. So boxing is complicated, and I can't give you a direct answer because I don't know. I'd want to see data.
You have to, man. If you believe that
Oh.
they deserve these rights, we need to have absolute rules. This is the problem that your ideology is creating, the vagaries about it all.
Oh,
It
I mean, if
applies in
it's-
one category, in another category, it doesn't apply. If it's about freedom and if
clearly
it's about having the
differences
freedom to live your life,
Damon, I'm
If it-
sorry that you don't understand that this varies by sport. 'cause
no,
different
you
sports
don't
are-
understand.
have
You're the
different
confused
demands.
person here because you can't give me a straight answer.
I think we should.
we
I
don't
think it's
have
good
the capacity.
as we're trying to do to establish an extreme example, which would be boxing, and then go from there and then expand it to the other
To
sports.
the other ones,
But-
yes.
That's not
Yeah.
If
always
it doesn't,
how
if it
works.
doesn't
It's not
apply
everything
to
needs be
boxing,
extreme.
if it doesn't apply to boxing, you can't say that it'll apply. It should apply for
The
swimming,
extreme-
or it should
yeah,
apply
the
for something
extreme-
else.
The extreme case tends to tell us less.
No,
about
that's why I was going at the softest. If it
So
can't
I-
apply to
let-
chess, it can't apply to any
It
physical
does apply to
sport.
chess. But
No, it
Yeah,
doesn't.
chess is
let-
not physical.
No,
let
no,
Furby
ma'am,
answer.
sir, it does not. No. Hold on here. No.
No, sorry. I
There
thought
can never be a
Imperious,
grandmaster.
shut up.
There
Let,
can
let Furby answer. Let Furby answer.
I thought you meant, by the way, Piers, I thought you meant men competing against women in chess. All you're pointing out is that there's two different categories, women grandmaster and grandmaster, but I would argue that
Well, men still dominate chess, that's for sure. But
That's because a
But-
woman can't beat a grandmaster in chess. No woman grandmaster can beat a male grandmaster. That's the
Can
reason they
we
made
let
a female.
Furby
But-
I just had
answer
a
the question
question.
about the
Does
boxing,
Glenn
please? I need an answer about this.
Or something? Or
Yeah,
what's
so
going on
Because
here?
if you're going to say that it's about
Women should be
freedom,
seen.
if you're
not
saying
heard.
that it's about freedoms and rights and living your life as a woman, then why are you not letting a trans woman compete against a woman in boxing? You're limiting her rights. You're denying her freedoms.
editorialize over my before I can answer. That's a good idea.
Go ahead. Go ahead, answer it.
No, you're answering for me. You're doing great.
Come on.
Don't
come
play the
on.
victim. We're letting you
come on.
answer.
So, the reason that I can't give you a straight answer is because you're asking for a simple answer to a complex solution, and I'm being.
What's a
genuine.
country you might
I'm
visit,
working
man?
back with-
If
from
you
the
ever could
idea
visit
that's
somewhere.
right. All I'm
I would
saying
say
is that
Germany.
by default,
Okay.
we're not.
Would you ever go back to your
opposed them
homeland, your
being
family's
able to
homeland, you
compete
think?
Unless we find some evidence that there would be an
yeah, I'm
unfair
here.
advantage. But I'm asking for the evidence
Sure, buddy.
first, not anecdotes, not misinterpreting stats, or let alone just clutching pearls over some cis girl who cried that she lost a match. I'm asking for actual evidence that this isn't working.
So
Can I
wait,
ask you a
so
question,
wait,
Mel?
you don't, no. Hold up, Jake. Hold up,
We
Jake.
already
Hold up,
have
Jake.
evidence that males are
Whatever you say,
physically, as far as physically have more strength, and they have physically in
Before
superior
HRT.
to women in that regard. We already
Before
have proof of
feminizing
that. So
HRT.
why do you need more proof than that?
Because it's also been shown that feminizing HRT affects so many different parts of the body and
It doesn't
performance that it
affect
may as
your
well be.
It
bones
doesn't.
capacity,
It
your
still
lung
doesn't.
capacity.
It not
So
enough.
wait,
Not enough
So
for
wait,
that.
Furby.
Yeah,
Furby,
you
if
don't
you
know that for
believe that,
sure, and
if
I
you
highly
believe
doubt
that-
you know that at all.
so hold up
I
a
know
second,
that
Furby.
for sure.
Wait a second,
No, you
Furby. If
believe
you
it. You
don't, if
believe
you
it.
say that you don't have the evidence, if you don't have the evidence yet to
Not for
show,
boxing specifically.
so you would be okay with women boxing then, trans women boxing against women? because
I'm not
you haven't
against it
seen
by
any evidence.
default. I'm not.
You're not
by
against it.
default.
There's a
Because you
commentary-
don't believe that a trans woman has an unfair advantage over a woman, right?
Especially after taking 3 years of HRT.
Okay, right, but even if she didn't take the 3 years of HRT,
disgust me.
it's a trans
No,
woman, identifies as a woman.
I'd
She
be
has
against it on
freedoms.
principle then, because then that would be a biological male competing against a biological.
Well, here was one of my questions though.
and
Like,
all the advantages that are entailed by that.
in order to be transgender, do you need surgery in order to become transgender?
So this is getting more into the discussion of transgender acceptance by the community.
No. I'm asking you your opinion. Like,
I'm
do
trying-
I
I'm
need?
trying-
Let's say I want to be transgender. Do I need to
Let me
go
answer you.
surgery?
Jake, I'm already answering you. So
Okay.
in terms of the sports thing, we have the standards that way we get rid of the unfair advantages. In terms of the community, no, it is more about self-identity.
Okay, so there's you're separating
Per
sports and
favore.
self-identity. So
Per favore.
within a community, I could
Perché
say I'm a
rischiamo
woman and
veramente
I'd be
di
accepted as a
diventare
woman. You would say
capogruppo
I am a woman.
d'Europa.
But
Rischiamo
with
veramente
sports,
di essere
hold on,
lo
but with
del
sports,
mondo.
you would
Ci
say
stanno ridendo
that's not
in
enough. I
faccia
have to
in
go through
tutto il
some type
mondo.
of
Vi
therapy in
prego.
order
There
to
has
be a
to be a
woman.
standard.
In order to be a woman within sports, do you see?
Yeah.
Do you see the difference there that you're having two different standards on what is a woman here when it comes to
Because the
identification?
standards we apply to sports aren't the same standards.
Well, hold on, but why is it
Wait,
different though? Why is it
wait,
different
wait,
though,
wait,
Mel?
wait.
Why is it
I'm
different
answering
if
you.
you're going to
I'm
put one
answering you.
standard?
Because we don't say it. We don't say in society, oh, we need to make sure that everybody is playing by the rules every single.
Yeah, we
second
do.
of the
We say
day.
that with society all the time. Yeah.
No, actually, we don't. If you go into your house and you don't play
It's
by the
just
quote
a
unquote
social
rules,
construct,
nobody gives a
bro.
shit.
Okay, hold on. If you come into my house and you break my own
Society.
rules, I would say, yeah, there's a problem there. There's rules to
can I have a-
everything, whether it
If
be the
you go-
workplace,
if you
a
go-
household, or
Secondly-
a business,
secondly,
etc.
If
There's
you go
always
into-
rules.
If you
define-
go
we
into a
don't define
community,
social
there's going to be
interaction.
rules.
It's always
don't-
going to be rules.
By
Yeah.
the way, if
Yeah,
you
but
have a
rules are
barbecue,
like just
we don't say
a metaphysical
if you have a
concept, which
backyard
is like
community,
just
with,
your
if you
opinion,
have a
man.
backyard community in
It's
your
the Big
neighborhood, you
Lebowski.
don't say,
It's
"Wow,
in the
you
Big
won that
Lebowski.
barbecue." You don't say
Big
you won the
Lebowski fallacy.
neighborhood. You can't
Just
win
your
or
opinions,
lose
bro.
a
It's
neighborhood
like, no.
barbecue. Are you really
There are
going to talk over my
definitions.
head?
There's the
Rules-
river.
Hold on, Terry,
rules-
Terry,
rules-
Terry.
The straw man and Harry
Rules
Clyde
are
is bigger.
separate from
I'm just
whether
saying.
someone is losing or winning.
Exactly.
So I don't understand the analogy you're making
pointing out-
here.
So
there
No,
are
I'm pointing out
laws
how
that govern the
Kazoom-
cosmos.
Kazoom, I'm pointing out how something is disanalogous. Therefore, I'm pointing out multiple factors that make it disanalogous. There's also no coaches. There's
Bigger
also
fan
no
of the Romans and the
referees.
Greeks.
There's no
Oh, Greeks,
fans.
100%.
here though, that
that's
makes no
totally-
sense.
Hang on a second, Jake, just one
Rules-
second.
So
If
society
you-
to
Germanics with the Celts,
to
too.
compare
The Mass
who
Jim
Furby.
performed best.
Furby, hold up. Can I ask you,
They got him back.
Just a couple of things
especially
here.
with Battle of Teutoburg Forest.
if
85 AD.
we've heard your answer about a
You know the
trans
whole
woman
story of
competing
Arminius?
against women, right? If I was to ask the guys on this panel who don't buy into the trans ideology, if I was to ask them, what do you think would be fairer? A trans woman competing against women. Okay, let's say she's on cross-sex hormones. Let's say the trans woman is taking the hormones, right, and is suppressing the testosterone level. If I was to say to these guys who don't buy into the trans ideology, do you think it's fairer for her to compete against women, or do you think it's fairer for her to compete against men? Most of them, I'm sure, would say, let the trans woman compete against men. That's fairer. That poses
Very
less of a
brave.
danger.
That's very brave,
Sorry?
especially since you don't understand how any of this
And
works.
you'll be able to call the
I do
freaks out in
understand
the
how this
audience with all
works,
the dudes
okay?
with boners.
But hold up.
Gotcha, bitch.
Let me ask you
No,
right
you
now,
don't. I
though.
didn't hear what you said, Terry, because all you do is ramble in between.
Hold
people
on,
talking
hold
to
on.
each other.
Hold on. Okay, hold on.
I
have a- guys, hold on really quick, guys. Damon, go ahead and finish. I have a question for you, Melv, after that.